Man, Chooch isn't here. Jacob's still on the IR. I really hate doing podcasts by myself. I mean, at this point, I might as well just hang it up.
Well, Cole, you don't have to, man.
Hey,
I'm
Jacob's
back.
back. Let's
I
go.
am back, everybody. And just to save the grievance so Cole doesn't have to say it, welcome back, all you beautiful broken chairs. This is the JCP End Zone Perspective Podcast. I am now back. But if you are unaware of what happened to me, I dislocated my knee, which put me out for quite a while. So
3 or 4 weeks,
but I can sit in chairs now, and I'm feeling a lot better.
Can you sit in broken chairs though?
I don't think I can sit in broken chairs.
Dang.
Only if Chooch is sitting in them. But yeah. So as of right now, I'm only gonna be on one of the shows, depending on how my physical therapy plans out. I'm still trying to learn how to walk, so I'll either be on the college show or the NFL show as of this. So, but we'll let you know if anything else happens.
And
So
Chooch couldn't be with us tonight because
he's a communist.
yeah, revolutions and stuff,
Yeah, he's marching in a parade right now. Anyway, we have an exciting episode for you guys tonight. We are starting it off, of course, obviously, because what else would we ever do, with some NFL news, and then we're going to go into Week 9. This is a very mixed week, I would say. Like, there was some that was like really surprising, and some that was just like it was over from the start.
Fact.
And then we'll go into me and Cole's mid, bad, and good for our fantasy. And then at the end, we're going to end it off with what the NFL posted today, actually, with their MVP like in the middle of the season votes, because we're officially in the middle of the season. Time really flies by.
It's unbelievable.
I know, right? All right, but let's kick it off with the NFL news. Probably the biggest piece of this week was the Raiders firing head coach Josh McDaniels and GM Dave Ziegler. I think this was the right move, personally. What do you think? Do you think
Thank
this was
the
the right
Lord
move?
above. Yes. Yes, as a Raiders fan, I said this should happen. They listened to me. They watch our podcast. This was a great
Yeah, we know
move.
it.
So yes, it was needed. It finally happened. And when we talk about the games, you'll see why I'm so excited that happened.
Yeah. The only thing that worries me that worries me the most a little bit is that this is when their season is going to get a lot harder, because after this they got the Dolphins in
We ain't
week
worried.
11, Chiefs after that, and then the Vikings with newly led quarterback Josh Dobbs.
Look out.
Right. And then after that, the Chargers, and then the Chiefs after that again, and then the Broncos in the last week. So that's the only thing I'm worried about with this. But after what we've seen this week, we're going to hopefully see a lot of improvement
Yes.
from the Raiders. Like, they went off. And
We
their new
needed
coach
this.
their new coach does not play around at all, and I forget his name, and I'm sorry. But
LeBron James. No.
yeah, LeBron James is the new coach for the Raiders.
Imagine.
And other news, though, Cowboys.
Antonio Pierce, by the way.
Antonio Pierce, yes.
Yep.
Cowboys signing wide receiver Martavius Bryant. I think so. So the question is this a start of like we need to add more pieces, or is this a start of like we need to plan ahead?
I genuinely wish I had the answer to that. I really don't understand this move. To me, the Cowboys are one of the most well put together rosters that we see in the NFL today, and they for some reason just cannot get it put together. And I think it's got to be the culture at this point, because you have all the pieces to win. and you cannot win. So
It's
there's
something
something up.
something with good teams. They just can't get it together with good teams.
Exactly. Yeah, they don't show up. I think their bus driver kept him on the bus. I don't know.
They left their bags on the bus and they got locked out. Something's going on. But really, it really boils down to 2 things. One is the play calls.
Yep.
Sometimes it does not make sense for the play calls. We've seen last year when the 49ers when the impressive O-line on the last
Dak
play of
Prescott. Or no, Ezekiel Elliott. My bad,
yeah,
not Dak.
yeah.
Not Dak.
It was like that was your one shot to like actually do something in the game. You had somewhat of field advantage, and then you you pull that out of the hat trick. Like, what are you doing?
Like, what was the idea there? Like, yeah, let's
I don't
just
even
have Zeke
know
under center.
what he was attempting. All right, so you know how there's usually 4 O linemen, maybe 5 if there's a tight end. Let's put 1, our running back. What? Like,
I mean, it was a fitting last play for him, though. I
it was a
mean,
fitting last, yeah.
yeah,
But, I think wide receivers are in the least of their worries as of
very much so.
yeah, pick up maybe some defensive, maybe some defensive backs, maybe a new quarterback. You already have Trey Lance. Have him start a couple games because we're as far as like stats wise, like you can look at stats and still not get the whole story of how a quarterback is performing this season. And that's how
Exactly.
I feel about Dak Prescott. Like when you look at it on paper, he's not doing bad. But then you watch him play a game and it feels like he's holding that team back. Now, this is gonna bite me in the butt in the future when in like 2 years from
He
now he
wins
has
a
like
Super
15
Bowl.
yeah, he has like 15 Super Bowls. Yeah, it's gonna be bad. But um yeah, wide receiver least of their worries as of what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
And last piece of the NFL news, we have the Rams signing Carson Wentz in the heat of Matt Stafford going down. I think it was last week.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, this move was kind of like, okay, we don't want to fully suck, but we don't want to like have a franchise quarterback unless like
Yeah,
Carson Wentz wants to like reemerge, supposedly.
right.
Um, I mean, you drafted Stenson Bennett. I was kind of sad to see how quickly they gave up on Bennett. I mean, at least in this
All
year,
those years
but
in college.
exactly, dude. He was throwing slant passes to like 20-year-olds. Meanwhile, he's like 40.
He has a wife, and you remember that college kicker? The commentator was like, "He has a wife and kids, and he hasn't left his college in 30 years."
That was basically Stenson Bennett.
He was almost there.
I did hear Georgia might bring back Bennett Stenson. It's completely different, by the way, not the same guy. Don't look too
Yeah.
much into
He
it.
has a fake mustache and, glasses.
But out of get heading back to this, I think it's an okay move. And honestly, if the Rams don't win another game, I think I'd be happy with that. Like not hating on the Rams, but like,
Such
hey,
a bad thing to say.
why wouldn't you want a top pick, especially with this? I mean, you could get Jaden Daniels, you could get Drake May, you could get Caleb Williams. The options are all there, and they're all really good quarterbacks. So
No,
this
they're
would be
not
the time.
getting Caleb Williams. We all know
He's
what team he's going to. 3, 2, 1, the Cardinals.
Cardinals. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like it's bad, man. It's bad over there.
Welcome to hell, Arizona. Oh wait, you've been already in there.
Yeah, yeah, you're already heating up.
Yeah, you're already in hell.
But
Could
yeah,
have been worse.
my opinion on this, I don't think it's a bad move at all. Carson Wentz, he's not historically great, but he will get you by for the next. I think Sean McVay said that he expects Matt Stafford to be in about 2 weeks from now. So him just holding in for a week or two, maybe 3 if it's really bad, I don't think is much of a bad trade, really.
Could you imagine if Carson Wentz just has like this
Like popped
amazing
off.
yeah, he just has this great resurgence and he's like the best quarterback in football.
Man, what a way to restart your career at like 30. Nice, Carson. No, but that team, I feel bad for that team because you see all those good talents there too, and then your quarterback goes down. One of the I consider him top 20 QBs as of right now, and he's been doing good so far this season. But then he goes down. Puka Nakua doesn't really have a guy to get passes
The
from.
ball to him, yeah.
Yeah, and Cooper Cup especially also.
Well, my thing is too, like, you know, with Puka Nakua, like, blowing up, in other words, I mean, you really don't have to, worry about skill positions because if he continues, and I legitimately think he can,
Mhm.
you're pretty set there. And it also helps too. They're on a bye week this upcoming week, so that's
Yeah.
always a good thing.
So yeah, with that bye week, they're not going to lose as many games as they probably would with Carson Wentz starting.
Exactly.
This feels like just trashing on Carson Wentz right now.
Like I said, he's gonna watch this. He's gonna like have the career of his life, just like completely change it, be better than Tom Brady, retire with like 20 rings.
You know what he's gonna do this week in the bye week? Remember in the offseason when we seen pictures of Derek Carr like ripped?
Yeah.
That's what's gonna happen to him.
He's
He's
gonna
gonna
go
be
on a
on there
Rocky
week.
montage.
Yeah.
Drago.
All right. We ready to go into week 9, Cole?
Yes, sir.
Weirdest week I think of the season so far.
This or last week for sure.
Yeah. Starting off with Thursday night game, Titans versus Steelers. Steelers coming out with um by 20 points. This game is confusing for me because we see Will Levis absolutely pop off, and then he
Yep.
gets named starting QB instead of replacing Ryan Tannehill. And then I'm not saying he did bad this game because this performance could win him a game if only the Titans had somewhat of a defense at all.
Agreed.
Like the Titans need a rebuild and they need to accept. I don't know why the Titans are in such of they're fighting to say that they're not doing a rebuild, but they definitely need one.
See, here's my thing with the Titans, right? Like, to me, they are quite literally a drug addict, and their their drug is playoff anything. Like, like you're saying, they want so badly to keep
I don't
to
think I've ever
keep
shown you that.
to keep in with the whole playoff talk, but it's like, dude, just stop. You're gonna have the
Yeah.
same story every year. You get to the playoffs, you might even win a game or maybe get a bye, and then you play a real team and get absolutely decimated. Even when you get 8 sacks on a quarterback that you should win, if you get
Yeah.
8 sacks,
They're kind of
but
like
you
the
lose.
Cowboys.
Yep.
Especially whenever they face a real team, they just crumble like a pile of bricks. Steelers.
Also, Matt Canada, for the first time ever, has called the good game. I could not believe it. I was, I look, I shit talk the guy a lot, but I will give him props when he's right. And I know he only put up 20 points, but he was in his bag, man. He was calling some good plays. This is probably the second best game I've ever seen him call. The first was against Clemson when he was at Pitt.
Yeah. Um. So, do you accept Matt Canada now as Steelers official
Oh
offensive
no.
coordinator?
I mean, hey, if they want to give him a lifetime extension and keep sucking, I wouldn't be opposed to that.
Give him a 30-year extension.
Heck yeah, I mean, hey, waste more talent. You've already done it.
But yeah, both quarterbacks played pretty impressive looking games. But I just feel bad for the Titans right now. I think the only move for the Titans as of being better, as of planning ahead for the future instead of let's try as many games as possible, even though our team is crumbling to the ground,
Yep,
is trade Derrick Henry. And I know that's
agreed.
hard to hear, But a player like Derrick Henry can get a lot of draft capital, maybe like a couple of maybe a round 1 pick, and a round 2 and a round 3. Like that much draft capital cannot go to waste, especially when that team around him is just doing this poorly.
And please trade DeAndre Hopkins. I am so sick of this, man. He had to suffer through the hell of Arizona, and then he went to a deeper hell in Tennessee. Like
Hey,
what?
hey, this is D Hop's fault. He
Okay,
chose
yeah,
he
yeah.
chose to go to the Titans, which
Could
is
you
where all wide
imagine
receivers
him?
go to die.
Yeah, that's true. Could you imagine him as a Chief though?
I wouldn't like that. What I really wanted, and this is not even because I'm a Ravens fan, but because there's a lot of rumors about it, that he was going to go to the Ravens. That's what I was really excited about. If we got OBJ, Zay Flowers, and now DeAndre Hopkins, dude, we'd be the best.
Minus A Flowers, but yeah,
Hey, he's been doing good. I don't want to hear it. He's been
he's
doing great.
okay. He's okay.
All right, going on to the next game though. Seahawks versus Ravens. Ravens putting on an absolute show. And Cole, does this silence the "we're bringing back the Legion of Boom" chants that we've heard
Um, man,
from
Seahawks.
analysts,
Yeah.
reporters, like fans? Like we all heard it from Seahawks fans. Oh, the Legion of Boom is coming back. No.
See, here's what pisses me off about that. It's like, guys, you had the Legion of Boom. You had your time. Now, let your defense make its own identity. Don't give it an identity
Yeah.
that it doesn't have. Look, you have Tariq Woolen, Devin Witherspoon, and Jamal Adams. Those are like your three real notable DBs. I mean, you got some other pieces that are okay, but those are the main three. And I don't get any more about um the Legion of Boom talk. Can we just knock it off? I mean,
Yeah. And I'm not even bashing that the Ravens like offense is, bad and you shouldn't have let that many points up. The Ravens offense is very good, but it's still like if you're talking about the Legion of Boom could have held good offenses, at least
yep,
to 2 touchdowns, but you let up freaking what is that, 4 touchdowns?
4 touchdowns.
Yeah. So quit the Legion of Boom talk because you're just embarrassing the team even more than what they already did this week.
And you let Tyler Huntley get their touchdown passing. Like
Yeah.
Tyler Huntley, bro.
Hey, that was OBJ's birthday, and that was his first touchdown for the Ravens. So congratulations to you, OBJ and Tyler Huntley. And I'm glad of this because I'm glad you brought that up. That they're letting the Ravens are getting in such a comfortable position near the end of games to where Lamar can sit out.
Yep.
He doesn't need to struggle bus any more than what he did last year with the defense. Like we know how the defense was last year. Like they were good, but they were letting up a lot of points near the end of the game where Lamar had to like will his team to the end zone, like carry his team in a sack all
Superman.
the way. Yeah.
Oh.
It was bad.
And can we also talk about Keaton Mitchell though? Like,
Yeah, Keaton Mitchell did a
dude,
it was I think it was first career touchdown too, a rookie running
nine
back,
carries for 138 yards. Like
and 1
what?
TD as well, his first TD.
Yeah,
Yeah, amazing stuff from Keaton
bravo.
Mitchell. This was really a run-heavy game by the Ravens as well, and it wasn't Lamar Jackson running all the time. Surprise, surprise. Not bad for a running back. Freaking idiots.
Yep.
But I also, who is the offensive coordinator for the Ravens again? You know
Oh my
him.
goodness. Yeah.
He was
What is
the
his name
coach.
from Georgia? Not Mike. What the
No,
hell is
you
his name? This is bothering me. Oh my goodness. What is his name?
I like this. I like this.
Not Mike Bobo. That's the current Georgia. Who left them? You rest assured, folks. I'm gonna get this. This is pissing me off. Hold on.
Todd Monken.
Todd Monken, thank you.
Yes,
Yes.
this Todd Monken team, as we're seeing right now, I fully believe. I was hesitant near the first year, near like the first week, but I believe fully well, and I don't know if this is just me being a Baltimore fan. I believe fully well with this team under Todd Monken and John Harbaugh that this team could go to the Super Bowl. What do you think?
Um,
This Ravens team.
I'm not quite there yet. I do think they're good. Don't get me wrong. They're way better with Monken calling the offense, but I'm not ready yet to say Super Bowl contender. If they continue to look like this, then we'll talk.
Exactly. Yeah, that's where I'm getting at too. If everyone gets healthier, because also I think this team is the healthiest it's been in years. And
That's
I
true.
know, yeah, because we've all seen how they were last year with like O line's down, D line's down, linebackers gone, cornerbacks gone, Lamar's
Insert
down.
random
It's
guy on the street now.
yeah, get homeless guy from Baltimore to play O line really quick. Like this is one of the healthiest Ravens teams I've seen in recent memory. So I'm kind of happy, especially since like I said they're bringing in a lot of backups when they have this high scoring games, just blowing out people. All right, do you call this the upset of the week?
No,
No, not this game. The game after.
okay, yes. Yes, I do. I thought you meant this. I was like, I
No.
wouldn't really call this an upset.
Dolphins versus Chiefs going into Germany in this game. You know,
Frankfurt.
yeah, the talks from Tyreek Hill about how he's going to score like 3 touchdowns and this, when he faces the Chiefs again. It wasn't in Burrowhead, but since it was in Germany, Tyreek Hill did not show up for this game. Um, you've seen the Dolphins try, and that's as much as you can. But this Chiefs defense is also being really good. Travis Kelsey even commented saying that this Chiefs defense is the best defense he's played before with the Chiefs.
Well, in the reason for it that not a lot of people give credit, like Trent McDuffie has really come into his own lately. Leo Chanel, outside linebacker, again, really good. Willie Gay, young guy that has just been more than most people thought he would be, especially out of college. And you had what's his name? Why can I not think of um,
For who?
Kansas City's defense?
Chris Jones.
No, not Chris Jones. Nick Bolton.
Um,
When he went down and how limited he's been, there was a lot of concern about, is this team going to suffer because of that? And they have not suffered. They have thrived. And also George Karlaftis too. I mean, I know he wasn't really much of a factor in this game. He only had one tackle, but he is somebody that if you continue to give him time to figure it out, he's going to be a monster on this defense.
definitely. But yeah, I think Dolphins. Bad games happen, and I'll give it to them. They're still one of the best teams in the NFL as of right now, still leading the division for the AFC East with a 6-3 record. But these mistakes were pretty bad looking for this game. Tyreek Hill, I know it was a really good strip sack,
Yep.
but well, it's not strip sack, but like a strip fumble.
Yeah, strip fumble.
It was that was like bad looking on Tyreek's part, especially when they lateral it to get the touchdown off of that. Oh my god, I flipped on. I seen that. I'm going back to the Ravens game.
Also, I'm gonna make this proclamation, and I want to know what you think about it. The
Okay.
Dolphins, to me, are the NFC or not NFC, AFC version of the Cowboys.
Hmm.
Because think about it, every time they play a big team this year, they have lost in an embarrassing fashion.
That is true. I wouldn't call them the Cowboys because the Cowboys are a reserved spot for like annoyance in my life. But I will say what you're saying is true, that whenever they face like a good team, and when you look at their schedule, they've only really won against bad teams. I wouldn't call it
Exactly.
that they scraped by the Chargers by 2 points. And then they beat the Patriots, the Broncos by 70. Then they lost to the Bills, which is a good team. Beat the Giants, which isn't hard. Beat the Panthers, which isn't hard. Lost to the
Choochie's somewhere
Eagles.
screaming.
Beat the Patriots, and then lost to the Chiefs. So, all right, I'm gonna give you when they face the Ravens. That's when I'll know
Okay.
if they're like that, and that's in week 17.
Also, the thing with the Chargers too. I mean, do we really count that? Because their coach always loses big games, and it's just come on, we don't. That shouldn't count on the record. Just disqualify the
just
Chargers for
erase
the
it.
year. Yes.
Uh, but yeah, also Germany's showing up with this game with 50,023 people. When the
Wow.
capacity is 48,000, so they reached 2,000 more. So props to
Wow.
you, Germany. Which
9.
I hate you. Which it's still weird for me, but like it's weird for me. So for some reason, considering that, oh yeah, people also like the NFL outside of America,
Even though it's American football, so
right? All right, going on to the next game though, Falcons versus Vikings. Vikings winning this game. Joshua Dobbs, incredible.
he's that dude.
He is that dude. He's that guy. Like, what more can I even say? Honestly, the new rookie tight end, the new rookie quarterback that the Vikings brought in after
Jaron
Kirk
Hall.
Cousins went down. Yeah, Jared Hall. He went down with a concussion. A couple plays after the game, it was looking over for the Vikings, to say that much. And then Joshua Dobbs, that big, bald, beautiful man. Will that Vikings team? I know I shouldn't be rooting for the Vikings, but I already know that the Lions are winning the division, so I don't care. But the Vikings did such a good job with this team. Calais Campbell also showed up for the Falcons, but that didn't really do much, getting a safety early in the second quarter. But man,
So
like,
I want to bring this to light too about the Vikings offense. Like, can we stop with this whole Brandon Powell is the fast guy that we just stick in to I don't know how to describe it, but they're using him as a slot wide receiver who's very fast, and they try to include him on jet sweeps and stuff like that. And it's like, guys, listen, it's broken, it's not good. Okay, nobody gets fooled by it, and he's not meant to be that guy. So can we just knock it off? Now, if you get Tyreek Hill or something, by all means, but he is not that fast. I'm
yeah,
sorry. Just stop it.
with plays like that, you need to be like on point. You need to have like a 3-2 40. You know.
Exactly. Exactly.
But yeah, Joshua Dobbs, 20 for 30, 158 yards. But with rushing, getting 66 yards and 1 touchdown rushing, and then 2 touchdowns passing. 0 picks. Yeah, it's just incredible. I'm truly impressed of Joshua Dobbs. Is this QB1 for the Vikings? And do you not all right? Not only is he QB1 because it's obvious,
Well,
but is he
yeah,
going
for
to be
now.
a successful QB1
Well,
for the Vikings?
I think he could be, right? Realistically, he has all the intangibles of a really good quarterback. He's waited his turn. He finally gets it. Um, Now going forward after this year, if I'm Minnesota, I'm still drafting a quarterback, and I'm doing
Mhm.
it early. Now I know some of you might be going, well, they haven't had good luck with drafting quarterbacks. Jaron Hall so far isn't impressive. Granted, I didn't think he was very impressive in college either, but that's another story for another time. Kellen Mond we tried, and he didn't turn out great. Yeah, because Kellen Mond kind of sucked in college too. But hey, that's again another story for another time. Now, if you draft somebody like Drake May, or you draft somebody in this draft, because there is a very deep talent pool at quarterback
Exactly.
here. Um, I think you have a battle, and I'm not saying necessarily shoo out Josh Dobbs from that one spot. Like if he continues to look great, keep him, obviously, but get somebody to light a fire under his ass and keep that somebody, because when you have two quarterbacks who can sling it, it's a good problem to have, and right now you really don't.
Mhm.
You
And
didn't
I'm
when you had Kirk.
this might sound weird to say, but I think this is the perfect time for a quarterback like Joshua Dobbs to take control of the Vikings, because I realistically, looking ahead, they have the Saints, Broncos, Bears, Raiders, Bengals, Lions, Packers, and the Lions again.
Can you
So I
say winnable?
realistic, yeah. So next 2, 3 games I can find winnable, and then you find the Raiders, which we'll find out how they are about next week when if it was just the Giants or not. And then I don't think they're going to beat the Bengals or the Lions or the Packers and then the Lions again. So I see them doing moderately successful later, the rest of the season.
That's a fair take.
hmm So out of all the times for your 2 starters to go down, and then the quarterback that you just got from the Cardinals, which what a you know futuristic, literally looking into the future, seeing all right, Kirk's about to go down, and then Jaron Hall's about to go down. Get this guy from Arizona that can actually, which Joshua Dobbs didn't do that terrible in Arizona. It was just that team is too pitiful to win anything over there, except he can dominate against the Cowboys apparently somehow.
I mean, who couldn't realistically?
Yeah. Speaking of the Cardinals, though, oh, seems to be technical difficulties. Anyway, speaking of the Cardinals, though, Cardinals scored big fat 0, which I thought what their win number would be this far into the season. But the Browns getting 27 points on them. Deshaun Watson coming back to the game too, scoring 2 touchdowns and just doing overall really good. Um, Cole's hopefully trying to get back into here. But Deshaun Watson coming back is I don't think they would have won this game if Deshaun came back, even though that defense is too good. Actually, never mind that. What am I saying? The Browns were definitely winning against the Cardinals. 100%. This Browns team actually has somewhat potential, even though they're the Browns, and that's not usually what I say about the Browns. But this defense, Amari Cooper being amazing at a wide receiver, 5 receptions, 139 yards, 1 touchdown, and Cole's back.
So, funny story, just a funny ha ha ha.
You left the
Oh,
studio.
yeah. So, I'm closing tabs on my computer because I didn't realize I had some tabs open for
As you are, yeah.
yeah, for Google and shit. And so I'm closing them, and then it switches to the studio, and I press close. And then I was like, Jacob, oh, oh, so I'm
Bad.
back, you lovely, lovely people, and I see we're
So
talking Cardinals Browns.
yeah, I already filled him in talking about Amari Cooper and how Deshaun Watson came back and um the masterclass of what the Browns defense is holding on so far in this
Yeah,
season.
they might be the best defense in the NFL. I'm like,
Really?
I know it's only the Cardinals, but they have been impressing me the last few weeks. I really like what I see out of them.
Yeah. If only the rest of that team can get together too, because if it was just the defense out there playing, they wouldn't have a 5-3 season. Which five and
True.
three is nothing to be like ashamed about, but still, they would have had a better record as of right now. Let me look at the.
Well, also, I do want to mention Baker Mayfield versus Deshaun Watson, Browns fans. I still think Baker is currently doing better, so
Yeah,
way to screw y'all self over.
yeah. I seen a video earlier about how Deshaun Watson's probably the worst trade in NFL history.
I'd still probably go with the Saints trading their whole draft for Ricky Williams.
That's bad, but at least they didn't give Ricky Williams like $230 million
That's true.
to be a predator.
My favorite there.
We all love
Also, they have
massages
my
here.
favorite kicker on their team, Kareem Hunt. I don't know if I should be
Stupid.
making these jokes here, but why not? Shit, I'm
All
done.
right, before we go to any other jokes, let's go to the next game. Rams losing to the Packers.
Hold on. You said before we go to any other jokes, this is a joke. The Rams got absolutely destroyed. Stay
This is a joke.
consistent, my man.
This is a joke. The Rams losing to the Packers 20-3. Yeah, Rams are officially in rebuild year. It's still so surprising to see that these guys won a Super Bowl 2 years ago. Like such
Yeah.
a fall from grace.
I mean, that's what you get though when you sell out for 1 year of glory. You're gonna suck the next few years. And Sean McVay is like in the Rams organization is literally allergic to drafting in the first round. They have not done it since Jared Goff, from what I remember.
They would have like a 6th round pick and be like, let's consider the trades here. like a six overall pick and just be like, they're giving us a 4th for next year though.
That's pretty tempting.
I don't know. I'm considering my options here. But yeah, this Packers defense stepped up against the Rams, and I think a part of that was Matt Stafford going down. Do you think that if Matt Stafford was still up and running, do you think this game would have went any differently?
Are we gonna talk about that up and running like he's the computer? Like, come on, man. I think they'd be a little bit better, but I still don't see them like having this great season, even with Matt Stafford.
When this game was happening, I was like kind of flipping to it. I was like, man, this is a lot closer than I thought it was. And then right around the 4th quarter, I go, oh wait, no, it's not.
Not anymore.
Yeah, no. Yeah, overall, the Rams need a lot to process from this game. I hope that this game can realize, because the Packers aren't a great team. They're not a great team this year. This game should have at least been close. No Matt Stafford or not. And, scoring only 3 points against the Packers is, I don't know. I don't even know what to say about it.
So, are people back on the Jordan Love train yet, or not yet? Because I was never. I'm just gonna state my claim. I even at Utah State, I said he was pretty overrated, and here we are.
I was kind of excited just to see him play, just because he's been sitting behind Aaron Rodgers for like 15 years. So I was like, well, what did Aaron Rodgers teach him to be a pretty okay quarterback? Is what I've heard. Is what I've seen so far.
Getting sacked 4 times also doesn't help.
Yeah, that doesn't do any favors.
The Rams are like, hey, we're like, the defense is like, hey guys, we're trying. We held them to like 20 points. Offense, do you want to do anything? And they're like, we were supposed to play
today. Do we have anything to do so far? No. Okay.
We'll give you a field goal.
We'll give you a field goal. Put you in the 60-yard range. You guys got it. MVP of this game goes to the Rams kicker.
Yep. Not
Um,
even close. Matt Gay, you beautiful person.
Going to the next game though, Patriots versus Commanders. Patriots, you're cooked.
Hashtag cooked. Yeah.
This is the year. I was surprised when the Patriots offered Bill Belichick that extension, and I didn't think that they were going to fire Bill Belichick. I don't think that 1 year of because last year it was bad, but it wasn't as bad as this year. I don't think 1 year of absolutely terribleness deserved Bill Belichick to be fired.
Right.
So, but still offering him that extension was kind of like, really?
It reminds me
And
of the Patrick from the one SpongeBob episode where he knocks on the door. It is like, "I love you," and then the door gets slammed in his face. Like to me,
that's basically the Patriots organization talking to
like
Bill
stop.
Belichick.
Uh,
But Sam Howell throwing for 325 yards, 1 TD and 1 interception.
only put up 18 points in fantasy. Like, bruh.
That's an average quarterback score.
I
Leave that
know, but
alone.
we're gonna talk about this later. You'll see why I'm pissed off. Don't worry about it.
Terry McLaurin getting 5 receptions for 73 yards. Is that underwhelming for Terry McLaurin, do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I really don't understand why he didn't get featured as much. Like, don't get me wrong, I know he still had the leading, reception amount on the team tied with Antonio Gibson, but like I don't know. You know, if you're gonna run the football, to a decent amount. They only ran it with their running backs 24 times and they only threw 45 times, which like okay, that's decent balance, but you got to give the backs more if
Yeah.
you're only going to feature Terry McLaurin 5 times.
Mm-hmm. Especially when you're not like throw to the running back type of team.
Exactly.
Those running backs in Washington aren't the receiving types. But yeah, overall in this game, nothing
Disappointing.
surprised me. Yeah, nothing surprised me from the Patriots. Still, probably getting a 10th overall pick.
I was going to say watch Bill Belichick get his
Watch
first
him do
pick
like a
ever.
full turnaround. Watch him. This is the only game This is the first game. Well, this is the last game he loses this season.
He
Wins
gets
every other
Caleb
game.
Williams.
He trades for Caleb Williams in USC somehow.
Yes.
He gives him Christian Gonzalez.
Here, take my injured for the season guy for Caleb Williams.
That would be horrible. All right. Going on to the next game, Bears versus Saints. Bears. It's bad when you're bad, but it's worse when you have so many chances to do something. And not even like I'm not expecting you to even score a touchdown. Like I'm not even expecting you to do a field goal. Get yards. Like that's
Should
all
do
we're
anything.
yeah. When the Saints had that field goal doink at the near the fourth quarter, the Bears were like, "Oh man, we have a chance." Got like 2 chances, fumbled both of those chances. I don't know how the Bears who is the Bears quarterback? I know that
Tyson
Justin
Baggett.
yeah. 2 touchdowns with 3 picks. And then I don't like Tyson Baggett after this game. I didn't like him in the first place, but the way that he was panning to the sideline and that he didn't have really any emotion on his face was just like, you lost because you're the reason why they lost, right?
You suck.
Right. You have no privilege being in the NFL, I don't think.
Dude, and like it's so sad too, because like this Bears wide receiving core, I know like some people might sigh at this, but it's pretty good. I mean, you got Darnell Mooney, you got DJ Moore, you got Valus Jones Jr., which is an
Cole Kmet.
underrated player, by the way. Yeah, Cole Kmet in the tight ends, Robert Tunyon. He was he wasn't great with Green Bay, but like he was okay, and now he's here and he could do a lot better. But like, you have a roster that can play a lot better than what we're being shown, and it's sad what we're seeing. I mean, this team, I don't know how they're 2-7, and I genuinely feel bad for Bears fans.
I think a lot of it is the O line, and especially when they had all that controversy with their coach being like raided by the FBI, if you can
Oh
remember that.
yeah,
So they were terrible before that, but it's still like you can't have that going on and try to win games,
true.
you know. But I am happy that when Dick Butkus passed away, that
Beat
they won that
Washington.
game, which could have already been happened, but you got the spirit of that guy going there.
And for the Saints, I mean, listen, this is. I'd be embarrassed personally as a Saints fan. I would not be celebrating this game. Like, yeah, guys, we beat the Bears by 7. Like, I
You were
mean,
that
you
close.
you won, but by 7 to
Yeah,
like literally the worst team in the NFL minus the Panthers.
you had one of the best defenses last year. I don't know what rank they had like officially, but they had one of the best defenses last year, and you're letting the Bears score 17 points.
Yep. With
Which
Tyson Baggett.
not even Justin Fields, even though I don't think he could have done much better.
Yeah.
But Tyson Baggett, you don't deserve to be an NFL quarterback. I don't know why I hate this guy so much, but I don't think he does. I don't think he deserves that privilege. Going on to the next game though, probably the best game this week. Would
Yep.
you agree?
Yeah.
No, what? I'm still on the Bears
What?
game. CJ Stroud for the Texans breaking the record for the most amount of yards scored by the most amount of yards from a rookie quarterback in a game. Look, props to you. 470 yards. That is insane. And I think the Texans found their QB1. Like, we were a little hesitant, during this season. They have 4-4, but a lot of it was not CJ's fault. But after this game, I think CJ Stroud is going to be Texas's franchise QB for a
Justin
while.
Fields, man, what a job.
Shut up.
No,
Shut.
but this was a fun QB duel, and like you were
Mhm.
saying, like CJ Stroud, he did his thing. Baker Mayfield though, really really good game. I mean, only 9 misses
Yeah.
for Baker Mayfield, and only 12 misses for CJ Stroud, and neither one of them had an interception. So like,
This is an
that's
offensive battle
great.
all the way.
Oh
This
yeah.
looked like a college game with how much there was like zero defense on either side.
And isn't that weird? Because, like, going into this game, you would think it would be defensive because of, that's what the Buccaneers are. The Texans have a young, good defense. You think there'd be, like, maybe a 24 to, like, 20 game.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, it's 39-37.
Like, especially because during the beginning of the season, I thought the Bucks would, potentially make like a 7th seed in the playoffs. I don't think they go far, but I was seeing them as a 7th seed. But after this game, losing to the Texans, it's kind of tough to think of them like that right now.
Yeah.
I could possibly see the Texans having a better chance at getting in this in the playoffs as like a 7th seed.
They're playing well.
Yeah, they are. And especially with CJ Stroud and this receiving team as well, did not stay home. They showed up.
Oh,
3
no.
receivers over 100 yards in this game.
Whew.
You got Noah Brown with 150, Dalton Schultz with 130, and then Tank Dell with 114. Each of them scoring 1, except for Tank scoring 2, and then Nico Collins, who has 5 yards, 54 yards, scored 1 touchdown. which, giving the ball to everybody, literally all the receiving team, everybody got the
Sharing
ball.
is caring, man.
Yeah, especially. Like, that's just insane. Overall, 470 yards, 5 touchdowns. The longest pass was 75 yards to Noah Brown. Absolute great performance by CJ Stroud, and Baker Mayfield doing a lot as well. So, very entertaining game. I'm calling this game of the week. How do you think?
Agreed.
Game of the week for going out to Texas. Texans and
GOTW.
Bucks. Right. Going on to the next game, though, not as great, but still entertaining nonetheless to see how the Panthers are at. I feel like this was the game where we decide, okay, the Panthers are actually bad. What do you think?
I don't want to admit it, okay, but I gotta. I mean, I genuinely feel bad for Bryce Young, and I don't like Bryce Young, but like he's literally doing everything he can to keep this Panthers team to like be close, and the team is just like, yeah, look
Yeah.
at our quarterback, he's doing it. Should we help? Nah.
No, he's got it. Oh, we,
Go
we
get
need
him,
we need
Bryce.
an O lineman out there.
Nah.
Throwing a running back, throwing Ezekiel Elliott. Which, weirder enough for me, what I find weird is that Panthers are 1-7, but I'm not really seeing a lot of people talk about how they're 1-7, how they can potentially get the number 1 round pick, the
Right?
number 1 overall pick, and
Because
get
they
Caleb
traded it to
Williams.
the Bears.
Right. Which, if I was the Panthers and then like we did horrible, we did 1-17, and the Cardinals somehow got another win after this, and I get the number 1 pick, but I have Bryce Young, would you trade the number 1 pick to maybe a 5th rounder? But no, not 5th rounder, a 5th over. I always say rounder instead of overall. But would you get a 5th a 5th overall pick, maybe a 6th in a stage for that number 1?
Okay, let me explain something to you that I tried to. Um, the Panthers don't have a first round pick. The Bears
Oh
have their
yeah.
first round pick.
Oh yeah. So the Bears are getting 2.
Yeah, the Bears are gonna be like 1-2.
The one and the Cardinals will be 3. Oh my god. That'd be bad. So yeah, that whole question just throws out the window.
Exactly. Yeet.
But yeah, Colts also doing more impressive than I thought they were when Anthony Richardson went down, because Anthony Richardson was doing really, really good before he went down with a concussion. But Gardner Minshew's out there still throwing bombs. 17 for 26, though, missing 9 passes. Getting 1 touchdown, average of 4.9 yards.
So, I do want to say, like I said, I'm a broken record when it comes to this, but I just love watching this Colts team play. Like they
Yeah.
are either gonna win the game or they are gonna have the best performance to try and win one. Like they are never out. It doesn't matter how much they're down by, doesn't matter what quarter, doesn't they could have a second and be down by like 60 and they're still gonna find a way to either win or be down by 3. Like,
Also, can I say something to Carolina really quickly?
sure.
How dare you take DJ Chark away from Detroit and do nothing with him?
Yep.
Like,
Agreed.
do absolutely nothing with like a really good wide receiver. I'm not calling him Mike Evans or anything, but he's not like Juju Smith-Schuster. Like, he's a really good maybe wide receiver too, and you're doing absolutely nothing with him.
Yeah,
Like,
2
I don't.
receptions for 9 yards.
Can you somehow incorporate, just make Stephen Sullivan go back a bit and have DJ Chark come in and be like, all right, let me throw some snaps in really quickly. Let me catch the ball and get a touchdown. It's like
Yes.
I'm upset. Especially he scored a touchdown this game, which means that he's trying really hard in Carolina, and I can bet that he's missing Detroit right now.
Facts.
I just feel bad. I hated when we traded DJ Chark.
He didn't deserve
Which
it, man.
when I before I seen how his name was spelled, I always thought his name was Shark. DJ, dude, that's a sick name, DJ Shark. I love that.
Oh man,
that sounds like a crappy
hey,
DJ.
it's okay though. I always thought that Justin Jefferson, when he was at LSU, I always used to say Justice Jefferson. So I mean, I relate to that.
You want to go to Chooch's favorite part of our week review?
Wait, hold on. Do you hear that? Sounds like screaming. Is that Chooch?
I think I hear him all the way in Virginia or New
I
York.
know, right? Yeah, let's head into it.
Okay, a moment of silence. Giants, you were supposed to win this game. This is coming right off of them. This is coming right off the Raiders firing their GM and coach. This is coming off of Jimmy Garoppolo not being there. And you score 6 points. Not even a touchdown. Burn this Giants team to the ground.
Usually I'm the one who has to come in week by week yelling about how their team sucks, but I don't have to do that this week. I mean, thanks, Chooch.
I'm disappointed. I'm not a Giants fan. I don't really care about the Giants, but it's sad to see this team, like how good they did last year, just do nothing. Just do nothing at all of what their team has to bring.
8 combined sacks between 2 quarterbacks for this Giants team. 8. This O-line is more of a joke than our O-line, and that's saying something.
Would you say that this O-line's in the top 5 of the worst you've ever seen watching football?
See, okay, here's the thing. Like, player-wise, they're good. They're really good players. But for some ungodly reason, they don't play good together. And I don't know, what changed from last year. I don't know if like they were sleeping, with their girlfriends or wives or whatever. Like, what happened that made this O-line like turn on each other, hate each other, not invite each other to their birthday parties? Like, I don't know what happened. But man, I definitely say it's the worst O-line in football today. I don't know about top 5 ever though.
Max Crosby got 3 sacks, which is who I'm giving player of the week to, is Max Crosby.
That's fair.
3 sacks, 6 tackles, 8 total tackles, 3 QB hits. Like, dude. But this does show that this Ravens. I was gonna say, hey, they both begin with a raw. This Raiders defense is showing a lot of promise, and I get this the Giants. They don't have an offense at all, but in the next week, I could see a lot of step ups in this Ravens deep. I said Ravens again.
Tyree Wilson and Max Crosby, man, like those two are gonna continue to rain havoc.
Yeah, and all right, if I can say Raiders instead of Ravens,
you sure it's not
Ravens? This Raiders defense could bloom in this upcoming season, and then the next season, I feel like they're going to be a lot better. Just keep Max Crosby. That's your number one guy on that defense. You better keep him.
Oh, also,
or else another team is going to love him a lot more than you do.
Thank you, and thank you for starting Aiden O'Connell. I was ranting about this last week. Finally, you put him over Jimmy G, who can't throw to save his life. And finally, the discovery was made. We started the right guy, and we absolutely kicked the shit out of the Giants, which again, that really doesn't say a whole lot. But like, hey, I will take it compared to what this season has been. So thank you.
Didn't score any touchdowns, but got 209 yards, and all the touchdowns went to Josh Jacobs and Jacoby Myers.
I will take that.
I would take that all day too. All right. So yeah, Giants, you got to step up. I said Ravens again. Raiders, you're doing good.
Way to go, Ravens.
Shut up. I'm looking at a big purple cup with the Ravens logo on it. All right. I have the Ravens on my mind every day. Going on to the stop laughing at me. Going on to the next game though. Cowboys losing to the Eagles. Oh, I'm so happy. I love when the Cowboys lose. I think me and you are on the same page of Cowboys hatred.
Oh yeah, we celebrate this.
Cause, I think we've grown to like be accepting of the Eagles fan base.
To some degree.
I
yes.
do, because I like Jason Kelce a lot. I like a lot of the players on that team. And they're not as annoying as Cowboys players. I think all of us can agree on that.
Oh yeah, Cowboys fans
like at least they've won the Super Bowl in the past like new generation.
Nick Foles, baby.
like rookies were alive when they won the Super Bowl, so you can at least say that.
You had to steal that. Come on, man.
But yeah, Eagles. I'm kind of surprised they didn't win by more, but still doing really good.
Also,
Dak Prescott throwing 3 touchdowns with 374 yards.
2 fantasy points for the Eagles defense, by the way. Thank you. Appreciate it.
So stupid. But yeah, looking at the box score, Jalen Hurts scoring 2 touchdowns, 207 yards. Dak Prescott actually did better than Jalen Hurts in this game, which surprisingly got more yards, more touchdowns overall. DeAndre Swift continues to put on not masterclass this game, but he did do good, getting 43 yards with 18 carries, getting yards, which all of us love.
Yeah, I mean, what stood out to me this game is what always does in Cowboys big games. They can't win big games.
They can't win good teams. They can't win against good teams.
Exactly. That's why I don't have a lot to say here, because like I quite literally expect it all the time.
Yeah, like they lost to the Cardinals, and the Cardinals are like a great team.
Oh yeah, best in the league, I think.
That's still probably the biggest upset of the year.
Oh yeah, that or the Jets beating the Eagles.
Which Cowboys probably have the easiest schedule.
I'd agree.
If you look, because they've Week 1, Giants, Jets, Cardinals, Patriots, 49ers, which best team probably. Chargers, Rams, Eagles, Giants, Panthers, Commanders, Seahawks, Eagles, Bills, Dolphins, and Lions and Commanders. So your biggest threats are Eagles, Dolphins, and Lions.
Yep.
And you only face them once. They're not like, oh well, you face the Eagles twice, but you only face the other teams once. You should go undefeated this season. No, I'm joking. There's no reason to lose the game. But yeah, Eagles did great. Did you see that clip of Jason Kelce screaming in that guy's face?
Yeah.
I love. He said on the New Heights podcast that he wasn't screaming. He was like, he was like laughing. He wasn't screaming. He was laughing. Speaking of Jason Kelce, also, did you see that he's in the votes for Sexiest Man of the Year?
I did not. No.
For the magazine.
That's a random ass fact.
Dude, if he wins, I'll buy the magazine.
Whoa, what?
Dude, he's hot, man.
What?
This is getting severely off topic.
Yeah, this
Anyway,
is
going back to the next
the
game.
Bills. Oh, there we
Well,
go.
it's the next game. Bills losing to the Bengals. I don't know what it is with this year, but there are a lot of teams who just don't win against good teams. Like they don't have, progress or like really any strength when it comes to like really good teams. And it's not and that's I know that's kind of weird if you're not a football fan of like, oh yeah, this team loses to good teams. But even bad teams beat good teams.
Yep.
So when the Bills have all this hype around them, how they can go to the Super Bowl, I don't think they have a shot of going to the Super Bowl this season. I think they're but the strange thing is I don't know what's wrong with them. Like that's the biggest thing. I
Honestly,
cannot tell what's wrong with them
this is gonna sound weird, but I could see them winning it all. Like
this
genuinely,
year.
I can. Yeah, this year because
I don't think when they're losing to the Bengals, I don't think they
no,
do.
no, but like, hear me out though. It's a weird thing, but we've seen it so many times where a team that is this caliber and has a history of like losing in the playoffs, and like I said, they have this start. They're like 5-4, 5-3, and then they go on a run and then they win it all. Like, I genuinely would not be surprised if this team got it together and won it because we've seen it happen before.
I don't think so.
I
Not this
don't
year, but I
know.
think next year they have a genuine shot
That's fair. They
because
have to do it while Von Miller is still on contract. I'm just saying they do. There's no and ifs or buts.
yeah, Josh Allen throwing 26 out of 38, 258 yards, one TD, one pick. I think this is going to be a classic Josh Allen year where he gets like 40 interceptions but like 80 touchdowns. So it's like, can you call him bad? Can you call him, a regular quarterback when he's throwing like 900 touchdowns with 70 interceptions?
You see, I also think, and this needs to be addressed because it happened, like the dumbest thing in football that I've seen recently is what happened when so just to paint the picture. Bengals were up 24-10. Bills score a touchdown and they go for a 2-point conversion. Now, okay, listen, I'm not a mathematician by any regard, right? But if you're down by 8, which that's what you are, if it's 16-24, if you kick a PAT, that
17.
means that you're down by 7. If you go for 2 and get it, yes, you're down 6, and all you need then is a PAT. But if you miss it, you're still down by 8. So then you would need a
Then you
two-point
have to go for
conversion.
2.
Yes. Like, this is the dumbest thing in football, and it's spreading. Like, I don't get it. It bothers me. It
I
keeps me
think
up at night.
I think what a lot of it is that I don't think you can deny either. 2-point conversions are a lot more like entertaining. Not in the sense of like, oh yeah, this is fun to watch, but like stressful. It's very
Yeah.
stressful watching a 2-point conversion because you got one shot. There's no downs. You got one shot to do it from like what is the one, or two?
Yeah, usually the 2 or the 3.
Yeah, and I think the entertainment value of the NFL is starting to get to coaches' heads of like, well, no one wants to watch a PAT when we could win this game if we get another touchdown. So
Yeah, but it's just so
I know
stupid.
it's stupid. I'm not saying it's smart. I also think it's stupid, but I think that's the reason why people are doing it nowadays.
I get it. Win the game. Play to win the game. No more of this stupid shit. Okay, if this continues, we're having a rant on it. Next episode it happens, I'm telling you, rant. So watch it, tag us in it on Twitter or X, whatever it is now. I don't know. And please, I'm telling you, next time it happens and I see it, we're ranting about it on that week. We're doing
I,
it.
I'd appreciate it.
Even if it's in college, I don't care. Everybody gets it.
All right. Last game for week 9, Jets versus Chargers. I didn't watch this game because I knew exactly what was going to happen. I watched it after though, and everything that I thought was going to happen knew, except for one thing. I did not expect Zach Wilson to throw as many yards as he did, which I think you can back me up on that too. I did not expect Zach Wilson. I think it was like 300 something yards that he threw. If I can see. Yep, he threw. No, it was 263 yards, which caught me off guard. He didn't score any touchdowns and no picks. No one did on that Jets team.
Don't
The
worry about it.
Jets.
It's all a part of the plan.
This is my review for the Jets 2023 season. The most confusing team in the NFL.
Yes.
You get Aaron Rodgers. 4 plays in the first game, he goes down. You have to bring back Zach Wilson, which everyone was talking about how had this many problems. And then you win the game in week 1 against the Bills. That was the most confusing part. And then Zach Wilson does good against the Chiefs and then loses to the Chiefs, which, isn't surprising. It like Zach Wilson goes from being the most hated quarterback that is deserving of it to like his teammates going like, "Oh man, you're good, man. You're fine. Don't worry about it, man.
You're gonna be the number 1 quarterback on this team once Aaron Rodgers leaves."
Just look at Donna. Just look at Donna Kelsey up there. Looks up there.
And then he instantly goes off, dude. Like
17 touchdowns of the game.
See,
Donna Kelsey.
Donna Kelsey should be at every Zach Wilson game from now on.
Imagine she shows up to the Jets game. Oh, that'd be great.
And then they don't stop showing her, just like Taylor Swift at every Kansas City game.
Yeah.
That's Donna Kelsey.
But anyway, talking about the Jets. No, talking about the Chargers. Chargers are also a confusing team because you have a good team around you. You have probably the best safety in the league right now with Derwin James.
Derwin James.
Yep. You have a great receiving core with Keenan Allen, and
Quentin Johnston.
Yeah, Quentin Johnston. You have Justin Herbert, which at times top 10 quarterback, which that's all you really need. You have an okay running back room with Austin Eckler and Joshua Kelly, but you just find a way to somehow be 4-4.
Hashtag mid.
Like, I don't get it. I don't know if it's the coach's fault. I don't know if it's the coordinators.
It's the coach's fault. I'm telling you.
You have Joey Bosa, and you're losing games.
This dude should have been fired as soon as they blew that big lead to the Jags in the playoffs. And probably before that.
It's weird for me to talk about how much the Chargers need to improve when they won this game.
Yep.
But I don't think there's a reason for you to be 4-4.
Agreed.
You want? I already told you this, Cole, but do you want to know who I think should go to the Chargers as a coach?
Who's that?
Jim Harbaugh.
Coach Prime. Oh.
No, he's staying for a couple more years. I think if Jim Harbaugh went to the Chargers, I think that would be pretty entertaining to see. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, he's already going to leave Michigan, which, I mean, you're probably...
I don't think this year, but probably the year after. I think so.
I think he is going to leave this year. Like, the NCAA is just pissing him off, and honestly, yeah. I don't blame him for being pissed off, but another story for another podcast. But,
by the way, I don't know if this is true. This is just, I think it's a rumor. But the official report that started the Michigan deal is from a law firm that the coach at Ohio State's brother owns.
Coincidence? I think not.
I don't think so. So
But
Ohio State's just
Harbaugh.
too scared to lose to Michigan again. We get it. You know, we're just a stomping ground for you guys. You freaking horrible, poverty-ridden franchise that deserves to burn in the deepest pit I can ever imagine.
Oh my! I love the hate. That's the rivalry. It's all fun
Getting
and
back
games.
on track though, I think Jim Harbaugh would be a great coach for Chargers for the Chargers team,
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean,
especially getting
anybody's better than who they have.
especially getting back to getting back in the NFL, which I always love to see. I love to see
Chargers,
Chargers
you
and
could
Ravens
hire
team.
me, and it would be a better move. So hey, hit us
hit
up.
hit them up, hit them up.
Yeah, please. I'll be your head coach. You won't
We run the
be.
play calls live on the podcast.
Yes.
The other team's just watching, like, okay, this is pretty easy. They're cheating. They're cheating. They know what they're doing.
Scandal started.
All right, that concludes week 9, though. In review, I call this week
Weird.
confusing.
Yep.
There was some unexpected and some pretty, expected.
Yeah, especially the Cowboys part.
But we're getting ready to go into our fantasy segment, the good, the bad, and the mid. Cole, you want to start us off with that?
Yes, I'm good, but I'm pissed off. So, so my good is CJ Stroud. Now you might be asking yourself, why is he pissed off? See, okay, 2 weeks ago, I start CJ Stroud because I'm like, all right, let's give him a shot, see what's up. Sam Howell puts up 30 points. Stroud puts up like 19, which, like, okay, it's not awful, but still, it would have been nice. So I start Sam Howell this week thinking, hey, maybe it's his turn to be on fire. And CJ Stroud dropped 43 freaking. Oh. 5 touchdowns, 470, 1 2-point play converted. Like, you couldn't have did this last week, CJ. Why do you have to do this to me? But no, on a serious note, congrats to CJ Stroud. He definitely is my good for this
Showed
week
out.
because
Showed
he
up and
kicked
showed out.
ass. Yeah. All right, my mid of the week comes from a place of just pure well, I don't really know how to put this in a way that is just kind of underwhelming, I guess you could say. I mean, it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't what I was expecting. Let's just say that. Um Man, now I really I feel bad because I left it up to
Just
this
say it.
point.
Just say it. You
Okay,
got it.
fine. Miles Sanders, 760. He had 39 rushing yards, 22 receiving yards, and 3 receptions in total. And it wasn't bad, but it just wasn't what it could have been. And man, I like Miles Sanders. I think he's a really good player. I just don't know what went wrong. He could have been way better, but at the same time, he wasn't the heart and soul that he normally is. If that makes sense, that's what I'm trying to say. And then my bad, and oh boy, are we gonna talk about this? Travis Kelce, 290. What's that?
I forgot you had him.
I do not have Travis Kelce, actually.
Oh, I thought. We usually do who's on our team, but
Yeah, no, I've been mixing it up the last few weeks. Travis Kelce had 290 points, 3 receptions for 14 yards. Now, I don't know if this is due to Taylor Swift. I don't know if this is because the game was in Germany. I don't know if you and Patrick Mahomes had some sort of bet heading into this game, but really, 14 yards. I'm
yeah,
disappointed. I'm
that's
very sad.
Hey man, it's Taylor can't travel internationally.
I know, right? Like, was that the thing?
Now he needs Taylor Swift there at every single at every single game.
And so does the network. I mean, hell, they get like
Who's gonna watch it if Taylor Swift isn't there?
exactly. Nobody wants to watch just football.
Right. No one wants to watch that. Why do you think the Super Bowl needs halftime shows
Exactly.
and
Come on.
commercials?
Hey, those commercials do be dope though.
Those commercials are cool. Yeah, I'm not even dissing on that.
All right, who's your fantasy picks for this week?
My number one guy, best, is Baker Mayfield, getting 20 points.
Change the ticker.
Oh, right. Number one guy, Baker Mayfield, getting 20 on the dot, not even point. Got 2 touchdown passes, 4 rushing attempts, 265 yards. Still lost to the Texans, but all right. And then my mid, I got Tyler Boyd, Cincinnati's wide receiver, getting 3 receptions for 56 yards. 56 yards, not bad. Well, you got 5 targets out of the 3 you caught, getting 7.10 points when you were expected to get 8.38. And then, my bad. You're right. Yeah, my bad. Bijan Robinson getting 5.90.
Ouch.
Yeah, not good when you're Atlanta's first pick in that draft.
Yeah, I mean,
Come on, Bijan.
and like, okay, I could see it if you featured Kyle Pitts a lot more and like, some other pieces to that offense, but you don't. So like, what were you doing that Bijan Robinson didn't do shit?
Yeah.
Also, I do want to say an honorable mention that almost made the list for my bad. DK Metcalf, bro. You only had like 5 points the last 2 weeks, or I think you had 6.
He's falling
last
off,
week.
man. I'm telling you, he's falling off.
Dude, get your shit together. Either be great or get traded. Like, that's all I'm gonna say.
If you going off topic here, if DK Metcalf if he got traded, where would you like to see him go?
Honestly, from a fantasy perspective, Kansas City.
No, not fantasy. I'm just talking about actually watching the game, not looking at your phone every 3 seconds on Sunday. Actually watching the game of football.
I'd like to see him be a Packer because I really think that he could help out that wide receiving room, being the veteran and still skilled player. And I think he could teach Christian Watson and Romeo Dupes a few things.
It is weird how he's considered a veteran, but he's only been in the league for like 4 years.
I know.
But yeah, those are our fantasy. And time to get into the last segment of the day. NFL recently came out on their website, on their news page, 2023 NFL predictions in the mid-season edition. Picks to win MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, and other awards at the NFL Honors at the end of the year.
Yep.
Coming in at rank 1 for MVP votes, with 10 votes, 10, is Lamar Jackson.
Ooh.
Shut up. He deserved it. Hey, he's been doing good this season. He has as much QBR ratings with, I think it was like 140. He has the same amount of games with QBR rating of 140 as many as Tom Brady.
Ooh.
Shut up. Coming in with 7 votes is Jalen Hurts, and then plus 400. And that's then all right, Cole. I don't agree with this at all. Not because he's Patrick Mahomes, but he's not playing good at all. But coming in tied with Jalen Hurts is Patrick Mahomes with 7 votes as well.
I don't agree with either.
I don't think so.
Number 2.
Yeah, like I get it. Patrick Mahomes is like ESPN's favorite person in the world, but I don't think Patrick Mahomes is playing on the same level as like an MVP season.
Agreed.
Especially when Russell Wilson is putting up like the same exact stats as he is.
Yeah.
And then coming with 2 votes is Joe Burrow,
which be higher. I'll take.
Yeah, I would rather have Joe Burrow be in the head instead of Patrick Mahomes. And then one vote in fifth place is Tua Tagovailoa.
Shit. Tagovailoa. Sorry.
What? That's how you say
It's
his
not
name.
Tagovailoa.
Viola, whatever. Viola. Shut up, man.
No,
It's
it's
hard.
turn the
Okay.
ball over.
Sorry, Tua turnover. All right, I get it. No, that's when he was bad. He's good this year. He's good this year.
He's mid.
But I think he deserves a lot more votes. I think he deserves a lot. I think he should be replaced with being tied number 2 with Patrick Mahomes. I
Yeah.
think so.
I mean, I think Burrow and Tua are better than Hurts and Mahomes, just being
Yeah.
honest.
Like Patrick Mahomes not putting up an MVP caliber season, and if Patrick Mahomes wins MVP this year, I'm calling the NFL fraudulent.
Yep.
There has to be a huge turnaround in the season if Patrick Mahomes wins this year. Either Patrick
Honestly,
Mahomes
though,
throws 500 touchdowns or something.
the most laughable thing to me is that Christian McCaffrey is not even on this list.
Yeah, or Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
Which, all right, we can call it now. MVP is the quarterback competition. I think we can say that for now. Which is funny because kickers have the kickers as a position have more MVPs than wide receivers,
Which is sad.
by one, and wide receivers have 0.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like this poll. The only problems being Patrick Mahomes is up there at all, and Tua only has 1 vote.
Yeah.
That's my only really complaint, really.
Well, my complaint is many though. Like Tyreek Hill and Christian McCaffrey not being there is a joke. Mahomes and Hurts above Tua and Burrow's a joke. Honestly, like I don't get anymore. Like, why not just call it the QB award? Because that's what it is.
All right. If they're gonna have MVPs only be reserved for quarterbacks, do you think it should be not allowed for offensive player of the year to be a quarterback?
I mean, yeah, in my opinion,
yeah. But yeah, do you have a problem with the Lamar Jackson being ranked number 1 right now?
No, currently, I mean, I think he's done good enough to be one.
Yeah. Especially since he's not like regressing.
Yeah.
And that team around him is doing so good where this sucks, but he's fumbled 10 times in this season so far.
Right.
But that team around him is doing so good where he can afford to have that happen to him. Where he can afford to have it shouldn't happen, but if it does happen, it's not like the end of the world with that defense. So yeah, as a Ravens fan and a Lamar fan, I am happy he's number 1 right now.
I still think Christian McCaffrey deserves it more than him personally, but
I think
only QBs.
If it was up to me, I would put Lamar, CMC, number 2, Tua, and then Joe Burrow.
For me, I would put McCaffrey 1, Lamar 2, Tyreek Hill 3, Burrow 4, and Tua 5.
All right, I agree. I agree with that. Going to the not quarterback of the year award, offensive player of the year, number 1 with 13 votes being Tyreek Hill. Number 2 being Christian McCaffrey with 8 votes. Number 3 AJ Brown with 3 votes. Jalen Hurts being having 2 votes in the 4th place, and then number 5 being Lamar Jackson. Doesn't make sense because if Lamar's MVP frontrunner right now, why is he behind
anybody?
Why is he behind Jalen Hurts?
Yeah,
I don't get that, but
that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, Tyreek Hill is doing amazing, and I'm predicting that Tyreek Hill will break 2,000 yards this season. He will break Calvin Johnson's record. I'm predicting that's this season. Like he already has over 1,000.
Yeah, I mean, personally, like I said, I would probably do it the vice versa with Tyreek Hill and McCaffrey, but AJ Brown definitely deserves to be talked about, and something needs to be done here realistically. Like we were saying, like, can we get two more skill position guys who don't get the light of day in the MVP voting? Because Lamar and Jalen should not be here. Period.
Yeah. If you had to put the two other guys there that are not quarterbacks, who would you put for number 4 or 5?
So I would put Jamar Chase at the 4, and I would put. Man, five's tough because there are a few different avenues you could go. Trying to think because I mean, I could think of a few names. If I had to pick right off the rip, would probably be.
I'm thinking too. It's a kind of a hard one.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I said, it's pretty hard to like just outright out of the cold blue think of somebody. Um,
Well, while you're thinking, my number 4 would be Brandon Ayuk from the 49ers
that's a good one.
as another receiver.
You know what? Yeah, I think that'll be my 5
Okay.
because I do love Ayuk, and I
Yeah.
mean him or Debo Samuel, but I'd probably put him over Samuel.
And number 5, I'd probably put Kittle, which is weird that since three out of the 5 guys are from the 49ers, but that team is just doing great right now.
Oh, they're really talented. I thought about Kittle, and I would say Kyle Pitts if a certain team used him.
Yeah. Or wait, Montgomery. What am I thinking about? Dave Montgomery at number 5, not George Kittle.
He's had a really good year, so I'm not too mad about that.
Yeah, he's doing great in Detroit. Probably better than Jameson Williams, or no, Jamal Williams. My
I
bad.
was gonna say what? Jameson's had like a 7-game suspension. That ain't fair.
All right. So there are 3 picks for the defensive player of the year. Number 1 being Myles Garrett. I don't have a problem with that at all. Getting
No,
16 votes. 16 votes. Number 2 being Micah Parsons, and then
cool
number
with
3
that.
being T.J. Watt.
Love it.
Micah
Nailed it.
Parsons getting, yeah, I think this is probably the best one on the list for getting, yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Garrett has 9.5 sacks and 4 forced fumbles.
Yeah, I mean, Garrett's been a menace.
Mm-hmm.
TJ Watt's been really good, and
He
I mean,
is Miles Garrett is like that brick in the Browns. They like that is that dude.
yeah, I mean, realistically, I have no, you know,
Yeah, no, really, no,
anger
not a lot
about
of
this.
complaints.
I mean, maybe you could talk about possibly getting Fred Warner in there, but or Nick Bosa, but like I'm not mad at this.
What I am kind of upset is that Aiden Hutchinson isn't in the conversation about it.
Yeah, I could see him too.
Yeah, at least at like number 4 with a couple votes, but just Miles Garrett's doing it so
The
good
next
on the
one
list.
we're gonna have a little bit of
Yeah.
little bit
Oh
of
my god, I just seen how many votes.
yeah.
So, offensive rookie of the year, which by the way, don't get upset if like your favorite guy is in 100. This is mid-season. A lot can happen for the rest of
Oh
the
yeah.
season. Number 1, 25 votes. CJ Stroud, which I don't know if this is recency bias since he just put on a masterclass against the Bucks, but is it deserving?
No. This is why I'm pissed off, okay? Like, look, okay, I like CJ Stroud. I really do. I think he was the best quarterback out of the class last year, and I don't think it was close. But Puka Nakua should be number one,
Yeah, Puka
okay?
Nakua has been doing phenomenal.
Listen, he was a guy nobody even heard of unless you watch college football like me and Chooch, and he even slid by my radar, and he did this. Like,
Yeah,
he's
getting drafted in the
really good.
5th round by the Rams, like he showed up and showed out, as I like to say.
Now, as for Shroud, I wouldn't even have him ranked at this point. Like, not to disrespect him, but he's only really had like maybe 3 good weeks and one immaculate week. I mean,
Yeah.
that's not good enough, in my opinion, to win Offensive Rookie of the Year. It's not.
Plus, Puka Nakua has been great every game. Every game he's played, he's at least, put everything he's had out there.
Yeah. And honestly, like, I probably would have put Anthony Richardson if he was not,
Yeah, if
injured.
he
I'm
wasn't
saying,
hurt, I would have put Anthony Richardson as well.
like, okay, so some of you might like look at my last statement and go, wait, you said he was best quarterback out of the class. How could he be best out the class and not be here? The difference, in my opinion, is you got to look at the fan base as well. Now, I know Houston is a poverty franchise for a long time, before him, but the Colts, you got to think, like, they have been extremely close for many years
But
of
never been
having
able
that.
to scratch it. Never
Right,
been
like
able to scratch the
they've
surface.
always been one quarterback away to really do something. Now they have that quarterback, and if he didn't get injured, to me, he's number two. Pook is still one. He's the best
Yeah.
wide receiver rookie wise in the NFL, and it's not close.
I think a lot of this is recency bias. Yeah, this came out today after the week where he put out the record for most yards by a rookie quarterback in a game.
Yep, agreed.
So I put all of this on recency bias.
I agree.
Other people though, I would have put Jahmyr Gibbs at least as like maybe 3 votes.
I would have been fine with that. Yeah, Gibbs
Yeah.
has shut up a lot of
At
haters.
least in like the third, maybe 4th place. But putting 25 votes on CJ Stroud is, I don't know how
Out of
that's
this
even like
world.
allowed. Yeah. Which I'm not saying CJ Stroud isn't in the conversation. I don't think, he's not in the conversation at all. I think he's maybe 5, 4. I don't think he's number 1 though.
Yeah. No, I agree with that.
Any other rookies that I'm thinking of for offensive rookie of the year right now, though? All I can really think of is Jahmyr Gibbs.
I gotta think.
Yeah, it's hard to think of because not of a lot of them are like known.
Yeah,
You
they
always
really
get
haven't.
like drafted this year, going into this year as a rookie.
Like,
Doing great so far.
it's so hard to think back about like, the draft and go, oh, that guy or oh, this guy, because it's like there's so many. It's 7 whole rounds.
Yeah.
If I had to think of somebody though off the top of my head that you could put in this conversation, I
Bijan
honestly,
Robinson not even
yeah, I
getting
was
a
just gonna
vote.
say Bijan Robinson would definitely be a part of that.
Zay
I mean,
Flowers.
maybe 4. No, sorry.
Yes, come on, man.
He's been okay, but like rookie of the year, I don't know.
Jordan Addison not getting a vote.
Yeah, that is ridiculous to me.
Just now that I like look up like offensive rookies of the year, offensive rookies. Now everything is coming to my head. But yeah, like there's a lot that needs to change about this list.
Yeah, I mean,
Brian Branch.
Well, he's
safety
defense.
for the. Oh right. Hey man, I'm just looking at it. Sam Laporta.
Yeah,
Sam Laporta should be on this list.
Or Michael Mayer.
He's number 2 on this list for me. Sam Laporta should be number 2.
Michael Mayer, Dalton Kincaid could have got a little nod because he's been playing really good recently.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there's so many players that you could have at least had a list, and
Had a
Stroud
vote
definitely
like
should not
one.
be here.
Like that's just insane to me.
Yeah, Pook is getting robbed. There's
Mm-hmm.
no question.
All right, I already go on to the defensive rookie of the year though.
Yes, I am.
All right, number 1 with 18 votes being Jalen Carter for the Eagles. Number 2 with 7, Devon Witherspoon. Tied at number 3 is Will Anderson Jr. And then Brian Branch.
And
Both
Brian
of them with 1.
Breesy is next, by the way.
Oh, he is?
Well, yeah, it says he was like
Okay,
close.
okay.
Yeah.
I don't know how you can not be close when it's the third place, and I don't get it. Okay.
So I will say, Jalen Carter definitely deserves number 1 here. I don't
Mhm.
have any grievances about that. Devin Witherspoon, as much as I really don't care for him, like not to sound negative, but he's been okay. I probably wouldn't have put him above Will Anderson or Branch, but okay. I'm not going to start a riot about it. I think Brian Branch has been better than Will Anderson personally, so I think that's your 3 and 4. Um, yeah, I mean, I'm not particularly mad with this. I just think Emmanuel Forbes should have got a little bit more love. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, like I said, there really wasn't, a whole lot else here, in my opinion.
I just
Maybe Tyree Wilson.
the only thing that bothers me about this list is it's not even about this list. It's about since injured players aren't really allowed to be on this list because Christian
Right,
Gonzalez was pretty good for the Patriots defense, and then he got hurt.
right.
So I only wish he was healthy to do this.
Yeah.
Going on to the next list, though, comeback player of the year, number 1 with 17 votes being Damar Hamlin. Number 2 with 5 votes being Tua. Tied for third being Brees Hall and Lamar Jackson with 2 votes, and then number 5 being Joshua Dobbs.
Okay, so let
If it
me
was,
let me
you
go
go first. You
first
go
here.
first.
Damar Hamlin should not be one. Listen, the only reason that people say he is because he almost died on the field. Like, it's a feel good story, but Joshua Dobbs so deserves this.
Yeah,
There is
Joshua Dobbs.
no way he should only have 1 vote. No
I don't know
way.
why Lamar Jackson's even on that list. I
Yeah.
don't get why he's on that list.
And also Brees Hall too. I mean,
Hmm.
he really was never off. He just didn't really get a shot.
Yeah. So, like again, there's nothing disrespectful about Damar Hamlin. It's just he's not like what has he really done? Like,
Nothing.
yeah, and again, like we're not saying that he, hasn't done a great thing by being able to come back from a cardiac arrest, but it's just that he hasn't really done much. Joshua Dobbs deserves this, I think, 100%. Damar Hamlin definitely deserves to be talked about, but being number
Not
one,
Dobbs should be
yeah,
one.
yeah,
And Tua definitely deserves. I hear
yeah,
the keyboards already. Like,
number
no,
two.
he doesn't deserve to be on this list. Yes, he does. He was
After
nothing.
your brain turns into scrambled eggs, and all you think about are when's my hospital food. You like he's doing as well as as he's doing right now. He definitely deserves to be like where he is right now. I feel like number 2.
Exactly. Yeah. Now Lamar and Brees. No,
I
I
don't think
mean,
they're on the. I don't think they should be on this list at all.
I Brees, I agree with. Lamar, I could see if you want to put him at like 5, but even then, I really
Yeah, I don't
wouldn't.
think so. I don't think if you get injured, and I don't think if you get like a super how do I phrase this? If you get like a life happening injury and then you come back and do great, then yeah, like how Tua did. But Lamar Jackson, it was just a knee injury, and like it wasn't like super life threatening to him,
Right.
you know. But yeah, I don't get why Lamar's on that list. Joshua Dobbs deserves to be number one. Damar Hamlin, like talked about, but I don't think deserves number one. Now, I think I agree with Coach of the Year being number one. At number one of Coach of the Year with 16 votes, Dan Campbell for the Detroit Lions. I agree
No
with
doubt.
yeah. Willing the Detroit Lions to a no shot, like a no doubt about it playoff is almost unheard of. With 16 votes is also crazy, but coming at number two with 4 votes being Mike McDaniel for the Dolphins. 3 people tied with number 3, John Harbaugh with 2 votes, Doug Peterson for 2 votes, and Robert Saleh for 2 votes. And then number 6 being D'Amico Ryans with 1
So,
vote.
so I'll start if you don't mind on this.
You're good.
Yeah, this list kind of I don't really like for a reason. Like I love Dan Campbell as one. That's no
Hmm.
no fight. He
No
turned
doubter.
around Detroit. That was that. Yeah, he's one. John Harbaugh, yes, I agree
Hmm.
with. I like him. In my opinion, he should be two. Now here's where it gets stupid, in my opinion. Oh, actually, Robert Saleh, I could see him being three because I mean
What about Mike McDaniel?
he's given the
Dolphins.
Jets some lives. No, no, okay. So McDaniel, Peterson should not be here, and D'Amico Ryans should be higher than he is. So here's why: Shane Steichen for the Colts, I would argue, has done a better job than Doug Peterson and Robert Saleh here, and Mike McDaniel. So how is he not even considered for this? That makes me
Yeah.
upset. First off, so if I was doing this list, I would do Dan Campbell one, I would do Harbaugh two, I would do three D'Amico Ryans, four Robert Saleh, and five Shane Steichen.
Yeah.
And number six, if I had to have a six, then it gets a little dicey because I mean, yeah, I guess you could put McDaniel there, or you could put
I would
uh
put McDaniel
Peters.
there. I think
Yeah,
he's done. I think he's done okay.
like that to me pisses me off. Like to me, Shane Steichen is one of the best coaches in the NFL today, and he is not getting any love. It's just stupid to me.
Hmm. Yeah, I completely agree with like everything you said.
And D'Amico Ryans too. Like you literally turned around the Texans and you're
Yeah,
number six.
with 1 vote. Thank you, Carr, whoever you are.
Yeah, thank you. What not who is David Carr. I bet
David
that's
Carr.
who
Yeah.
that is.
But yeah, Dan Campbell is the easiest number one for this season. No, like no
Easily.
doubt about it. And then Harbaugh is a good number two. And then from there, it's really all you said.
Yeah, I mean from there you definitely go Ryans, then you go Stakem, and then you go Robert Saleh, in my opinion,
Hmm.
and then whoever you want the six to be, Peterson or McDaniel, okay, but the fact that Steichen's not on here and D'Amico Ryan's a six is a complete joke.
Yeah, I think Harbaugh deserves to be number two, from mainly from how much he's turned that defense around. Like the things he's doing with Geno Stone, which if you haven't watched, he got his 6th interception this season, which makes him the number one in interceptions this season.
Right.
And the things he's doing with that defense is such a game changer compared to what he did last year. And I'm just it's just such a good thing to see as a Ravens fan, and even as like a casual football fan, just seeing this team be like I'm not gonna say how they once were because there's nothing gonna compare to how they once were, but
Right.
this like aspired to be like they once were with that Ravens team. The purple pain is really like heartwarming to see, especially in this year of like we're trying to help out the offense as much as we can, and they're still getting like we're only letting you get 3 points, guys. So have fun. And even the offense, the way he's helped out Lamar Jackson progress as a quarterback. Like, it's so interesting to see Lamar from his rookie season and then 2019 when he won MVP to a sort of downgraded year in 2020, 2021 to then back to how he kind of was and doing amazing with this offensive help with Zay Flowers, OBJ, just all that help that he's doing with that team is just really great to see as a Ravens fan.
Yeah. No, I mean I agree. It's very well deserved, and yeah, no, they definitely have improved a lot on both sides of the ball, which is just
Yeah.
great to see for football in general. Like when the Ravens are doing good and the Bengals are doing good. I
That
would
whole
say the
division's just doing
Steelers.
great.
I would say the Steelers, but Matt Canada.
Always got something to pull out of his sleeve. It's 3rd and 25. Let's run the ball.
Let's do a jet sweep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But all right,
But he
that will
coached a
be.
good game, guys.
We scored a touchdown. Huh?
But yeah, take us home.
All right. That'll be it for the JCP End Zone Perspective podcast. I'm sorry that I'm probably not going to be here for the college episode, but I'll try and watch you guys. But yeah, that'll be it. I am Jay from JCP, and we are out.
God bless y'all.